Hello students, welcome to M10 classes. In the previous class we had read about pH and pH in everyday life. In today's lecture we are going to read about salt and its types, common salt and water of crystallization. Students, as you have already read in the properties of acid and bases, that salt is formed by the reaction of acid and bases. So acid and bases combine to form salt and water. Now this salt can be of three types. What are they? Acidic, that is pH less than 7, basic, that is pH greater than 7, or neutral, that is pH is equals to 7. Now let us see how are they formed. The first one. Now see your acid and bases can be strong or weak. So you can get the combination of strong acid, strong acid, weak base, and weak acid and strong base. Now let us see the first case. Strong acid and weak base. Here your HCl hydrochloric acid is a strong acid and your NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, is a strong base. And the result here is sodium chloride plus water, and your sodium chloride is a neutral salt. Coming to the second part, that is strong acid and weak base. Here HCl hydrochloric acid is a strong acid and NH4OH ammonium hydroxide is a weak base, and it will form NH4Cl, that is ammonium chloride, which is an acidic salt. Coming to weak acid and strong base. So here H2CO3 carbonic acid is a weak acid, and your strong base, that is your sodium hydroxide, it will give Na2CO3, that is your sodium carbonate. It is an basic salt. It is a basic salt. Now see, suppose you will be given with a particular salt and you will be asked to find out the acid and base that will combine to result the particular salt. For example, let's say MgCl2. You know salts dissociate in water to give ions, positive ions and negative ions. Now first of all consider the positive ions and negative ions. So here MgCl2 will give you Mg2 plus and Cl minus. So here your positive should be combined with OH minus and your negative ion will be combined with H plus. So you will get your base and acid accordingly. In the first case you have Mg2 plus, the valency is 2, and in OH minus valency is 1. So by crisscross method you will get this MgOH whole to magnesium hydroxide, which is the base. And for chlorine you will get this Cl minus with H plus, you will get HCl, that is your hydrochloric acid. Again, now see here, can you guess the acid and base which will combine to form NaNO3, MgSO4 and CaCl2? Listen carefully. NaNO3, you will get Na plus and NO3 minus. For positive we'll take OH minus, so you'll get Na and OH, you will get NaOH, sodium hydroxide. And for NO3 it is minus, and for hydrogen the valency is 1, you'll get HNO3, that is your nitric acid. For MgSO4, magnesium 2 plus, SO4 2 minus. For magnesium valency is 2, for OH minus the valency is 1. You'll get MgOH whole 2, that is magnesium hydroxide. For sulfate ion the valency is 2, and for hydrogen the valency is 1. You'll get H2SO4, that is your sulfuric acid. Likewise you can find for calcium chloride, that is calcium hydroxide, and hydrogen chloride and hydrochloric acid, HCl. Now students, every salt belongs to two families. Like a girl after getting married, she belongs to two families, paternal and again his husband's home. Now see here, every salt has two parts, positive part, negative part, that is positive radical and negative radical. So it will belong to two families. For example, sodium chloride, Na plus and sodium minus. Na plus, that is sodium, so it will belong to sodium family. Cl minus, so it will also belong to chloride family. If I consider sodium family, you can get sodium chloride, sodium sulfate, sodium nitrate, sodium carbonate, etc. For chloride family, you can get many salts like sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, potassium chloride, and many. Next come to common salt. Now your common salt is quite common, as you know. Its chemical formula NaCl, chemical name sodium chloride, and the main source is your seawater. You get it from seawater, and it is used for food. But here you will be able to know that it is used for as raw material for different materials like your washing soda, baking soda, sodium hydroxide, bleaching powder, etc. Next comes rock salt. Don't get confused, you are not going to get salt from these hills or something else. Now, in ancient ages also there were many seas which were dried up with ages. Now they found beds of rocks of salts, and that are called rock salts. Now they are brown crystals which are brown due to the presence of impurity. Now let us see the picture. Now here it shows the picture of your rock salt which is brown in color. It is because of the presence of impurities. Now let us start with electrolysis of brine. Now, what is electrolysis? Electro means by application of electricity. Lysis means to break down. Lysis means to break down. So, electrolysis means breaking down of a substance by the use of electricity. And what is brine? Brine is the aqueous solution of sodium chloride. Okay. Now, what is electrolysis? Electrolysis contains three E's which are very important. See here in the table. It is E stands for electricity. That means you are going to supply electricity. Secondly, electrode. In the process of electrolysis, you are using two electrodes, that is your anode and cathode. Here anode is positively charged and cathode is negatively charged. Third thing is your electrolyte. Electrolyte means it is a conducting liquid which is used in the process of electrolysis. Now see here, the electrolysis of aqueous solution of sodium chloride will give you this reaction. Now see here, it will give you sodium hydroxide, chlorine gas, and hydrogen. Now in this process you are getting chlorine and an alkali, that is your NaOH, and that is why this process is known as chlor-alkali process. In the exams you may be asked that describe chlor-alkali process. Don't be confused, you will write this process. Now these products which are formed, where are they formed? At which location are they formed? Now see, first of all, chlorine, it is formed at anode, hydrogen formed at cathode. But how to remember them? You always remember the opposite charges attract each other. Chlorine, its ion Cl minus, so it will be attracted towards positive, that is your anode. So chlorine gas is formed near anode. What are its application? Water treatment, disinfectant, PVC, CFC. PVC stands for polyvinyl chloride, CFC stands for chlorofluorocarbon, pesticides, and in swimming pools for cleaning. Next, your H2, hydrogen. Hydrogen is positively charged, so it will be formed at negative electrode, that is your cathode. Now see here, it is formed at cathode. Now it is used as fuel, margarine, ammonia for fertilizers, etc. NaOH in its aqueous state, it is formed in aqueous state, it is formed near cathode. It is used for soap and detergent, for paper making and artificial fibers, etc. This is very important question. Now comes water of crystallization. Water of crystallization is a fixed number. Remember, it is a fixed number of water molecule present in one formula unit of salt. Water of crystallization is responsible for two important things: color and the shape of the crystal of a substance. And you know, crystals, you have read it in class 8th, the process of separation of substances. That is, the crystal, when the substance is formed by the process of crystallization, it doesn't have any kind of contaminants. It is contaminant free. Now what is the significance of this water of crystallization? That means it provides color and it is responsible for the crystal shape of the crystals, Now those salts which have water of crystallization are known as hydrated salt. They are hydrated, but don't be confused that they are wet. They are not wet. They are forming crystals which contain these molecules of water. Now, what will happen this water if the water of crystallization is removed? Now, if those water of crystallization is removed by heating, the crystal will turn into powder and will lose its color. We will see that experiment. Now there are examples of some crystals. See here, copper sulfate CuSO4 5H2O. So its unit formula of the salt contains 5 molecules of water. It is blue in color. Iron sulfate crystal or ferrous sulfate crystal, it contains 7 molecules of water and its color is green. Washing soda Na2CO3 10H2O, it is white in color. Gypsum is slightly colored, that means slightly white, generally transparent, and its formula is CaSO4 2H2O. Now, see here, these are the color of different kinds of salt. Here it is, see here, copper sulfate, this color is blue. This is iron sulfate crystal, it is green, and this is gypsum. Now we'll see how does the how does heating of crystals leads to the losing of the color of the crystal. Now students, see here, this is copper sulfate and it is being heated. Now by the process of heating it will lose water. Now see here, water droplets are being deposited in the test tube. Now see here, the color of the copper sulfate, which was blue, is gradually changing and the water droplets are getting deposited here because the water is lost, and this is anhydrous copper sulfate, which is white in color. So students, from the video it is clear that the hydrated salt which form crystals have colors due to the water of crystallization, and when this water of crystallization is lost, they turn into powder and then lose their colors also. So this is all for today's class. In the next class we are going to wind up this chapter. It has some of the important compounds and their formation. We are going to read it in the next class. Till then, take care.